Hello, Lockport Township High School District 205 parents and guardians. My name is Dr. Bob McBride, Superintendent of Lockport Township High School District 205, and this is your board meeting brief for the Board of Education meeting that was held on Monday, January 22nd, 2024, first one of this year, in the Porter Room. Number of things that we did that I'm going to brief you on, but of course, most important, we love starting our meetings recognizing our students, and we had so much to celebrate in this January board meeting. Two individual accomplishments. First, I'd like to congratulate a senior, Graham Carlson, who was selected to perform in this year's All-State Play. What does that mean to be selected in the All-State Play? It means that Graham has established himself as one of the best young actors in the state of Illinois this year. We also recognized one of our own student board members, Chelsea Osei. Chelsea has been selected as one of 104 students in the entire nation to go to Washington with Senators Dick Durbin and Senator Tammy Duckworth and serve with them on a Youth in Senate Day. An incredible accomplishment on a national level for Miss Osei. We also had two groups that we acknowledged. We acknowledge all of the students who are members of this year's All-State Choir. We also acknowledged all of the students who are members of this year's All-State Band. What does that mean? Well, they'll go down to Peoria this weekend and perform, but it means that these musicians represent the top musicians in the state of Illinois, and they learned that right here at Lockport Township High School. I want to thank their parents for instilling in them greatness, and I also want to thank their teachers and sponsors, because nothing happens without being lifted up by those who coach and teach us. Let's get into a little bit of board work that we did on Monday night. Our board worked with a couple of different important things I want to mention to you. First and foremost, they approved some new staffing. They approved 2 new school counselor positions, and they approved positions that will increase the work that we do with students who speak multiple languages. Let's talk about the counselors. We have recognized that our students have needs for guidance throughout high school, especially in terms of the courses that they take and why they take those courses on their journey to senior year and beyond. Every student deserves one-on-one attention. We've heard that from students, we've heard that from parents, from our own staff. So our board approved 2 new school counselor positions in order to get out there and hire really qualified individuals that will help our total school counselor staff lower their school counseling loads of students and provide more individualized attention. Also, we have new students coming to Lockport Township High School. Now more than ever, we are seeing students who come to us as newcomers to this country who speak a different language. In many cases, Spanish, Polish, sometimes Lithuanian. And we recognize the needs of those learners learning in an English environment and being native speakers in a different language. Our board approved new staffing to address and support those students. Our board also reviewed something that is very important to you, and that is the 2024-2025 school calendar. We presented a draft. We've almost come to approval, but we just have a few more things to work with you. I'll be sending you a survey to work with our staff, to work with our administration and leaders, just to make a few final decisions. Some of the things that we're still thinking about: when will school start? When will we end the first semester? When will school end at the end of the school year? As always, we strive to stay aligned with the feeder districts that come to us. So please, if you want to check out that draft calendar, get online, look at our board agenda from January 22nd, and keep your eyes open in our Friday messages for something that will survey you about what you think about the school calendar. Finally, I'd like to just share with you briefly about my superintendent report. Number of things that I shared with the board. First and foremost, ceiling repair at Lockport Central. No matter what happens with our election issue, a bond referendum on March 19th, we do need to repair the ceilings that were identified by forensic architects as red, offering high risk, or orange, offering moderate risk. We are now in that process. Our architectural plans are completed. We'll go out to bid specification on January 30th. We hope to have those bids approved by our February board meeting, but that whole timeline means that just the removal phase will likely not be done until the beginning of April. Then we'll move into a phase where we're using structural engineers to look up in those ceilings, making any kind of recommendations, to move into a phase of specifications and bids for ceiling replacement. That's why our students continue to be at Lincoln Way North and will be at Lincoln Way North for the rest of the school year. In terms of the ballot issue that we're putting before you about the future of Lockport Central, to renovate and to preserve it, and really the proposal that we're putting before you is to renovate and preserve so that we change all the major mechanicals, Americans with Disability, life safety, but at the same time that we improve the quality of classrooms and we expand the instructional space we have at Central, because there's so many spaces that we're no longer using. They're not needed as locker rooms or as a pool. Could we reclaim them as new and modern classrooms for the 7 feeder districts that come into Lockport Central? In that process, we have had many, many conversations. One conversation is about all of the different options that are possible. Where I'm standing right now, if you look down on these columns, this actually at one point was the end of East Campus. In 2017, to my left, an addition was put on East Campus. And in 2017, there was a conversation about when you put an addition on, would that accommodate all 1,000 freshmen as well? When facilities were studied, we don't have facilities on this side of the old wall, cafeteria, gyms, other classroom spaces that could accommodate another 1,000 students. To do that, we would have to either build an entire new building behind East Campus or an entire new building in our property at Cedar Road at 159th. That we have estimated and cost out would be about $145 million for a brand new freshman center. If we built a brand new 9 through 12 building, that would be about $180 million. Recently, since 2022, we've been looking at our student population, and we brought this up with the board as well. There is nothing to indicate that over the next 10 years that our student population is going to expand dramatically. We will stay at about 3,600, maybe go up to about 4,200 at tops. In the board's mind, that does not really justify the cost, the expense to you as taxpayers of a brand new building. So we come back to renovating and preserving a beloved building that we have so that every Porter could have that new experience in a building whose life could be extended another 50 years. We hope that you will participate in some of the upcoming events that talk about this ballot issue. On Monday night, we will have an online 7 p.m. our YouTube channel live town hall to present to you what we've been working on with this referendum issue. Saturday morning, if you have some time, at 10 a.m., we will be at the Crest Hill branch of the White Oak Public Library, sharing with anyone who is interested in learning more, and se habla español. Next week, we are going to do a special Central at 6:30 tour. We're doing them every Wednesday at 6:30, but next week, on Wednesday, January 31st, we will be doing a walk with the architects. So if you want to specifically focus in on what our architects have to say, it'll be at that time. We hope you can attend one of those upcoming events. Thanks so much for listening to this board meeting brief from our Board of Education meeting on Monday, January 22nd, 2024. Always, go Porters.